The landscape for teaching yoga to athletes has completely transformed over the last 5 years. And if you're still approaching this market the way you did pre-2020, you are already behind. Athletic programs are becoming more sophisticated about who they hire, athletes are demanding more specialized services, and the window for establishing yourself in this field may be closing. I'm going to show you what's changed and what you need to do about it right now. I'm Sage Rountree, and I've been teaching athletes for over 20 years. I've watched this field evolve from a nice-to-have add-on to an essential component of athletic training. The opportunities now are bigger than ever, but the bar for entry is also higher. Today, I'm breaking down what's changed and how to position yourself for success in 2026 and beyond. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 major shifts happening in athlete wellness right now, why general yoga teachers are getting left behind, and exactly what you need to do to establish yourself as a specialist before this window closes. This is about the future of your teaching career. The first major shift: athletic programs are professionalizing their wellness services. 5 years ago, any yoga teacher could work with athletes because there was little competition and low expectations. Today, that's completely changed. Athletic programs, even at the recreational and high school levels, are becoming more sophisticated. They're looking for specialists, not generalists. They want teachers who understand athletic training, who speak the language of performance, and who can integrate seamlessly into existing programs. Here's what this means practically. You can't just show up with your standard yoga class anymore. You need to understand periodization, how training intensity varies throughout a season. You need to know how to modify practices based on whether it's preseason, competition week, or recovery phase. You need to communicate in terms of outcomes: injury prevention, performance enhancement, recovery optimization. The coaches and athletic directors making hiring decisions are asking more sophisticated questions. They want to know your philosophy on recovery. They want to understand how you'll work with their strength staff. They want evidence that you understand athletic training. This professionalization is actually great news for teachers who specialize because it means higher rates and more respect for your expertise. But it's bad news for generalists who think they can just teach their regular class to athletes. The second major shift: athletes themselves have higher expectations. They've become sophisticated consumers of wellness services. 10 years ago, athletes were skeptical of yoga. They didn't know what it was, they didn't understand the benefits, and they needed to be convinced it was worth their time. Now, athletes are actively seeking specialized yoga instruction because they have seen the benefits. But here's the catch: they want teachers who understand them. They're not interested in generic yoga classes. They want sport-specific programs, practices that address their particular challenges, and instruction that fits their training schedule. An example: runners today know they need hip mobility work and recovery practices, but they don't want a random yoga class with a ton of forward folds. They want a runner-specific program from a teacher who understands running biomechanics, common injury patterns, and the demands of training cycles. This means athletes are willing to pay premium rates, often $150 or $300 or more per session, for specialized instruction. But they're not paying that for general yoga teachers. They're paying it for specialists who can speak their language and address their specific needs. The opportunity is bigger than ever, but only if you position yourself correctly. The third shift: the market is consolidating around specialists. Here's what I mean. 5 years ago, there was room for everyone in the yoga for athletes space. Athletes would try different teachers, programs weren't well established, and there was opportunity to experiment and learn as you went. Now, in most markets, 1 or 2 teachers have established themselves as the go-to specialists for athletes. Once someone owns that position, it becomes exponentially harder for others to compete. The teachers who established expertise first are booking months in advance and commanding premium rates. Everyone else is fighting for scraps. This is exactly what happened in other wellness fields. Remember when there were dozens of personal trainers at every gym? Now markets have consolidated around specialized trainers, strength specialists, Olympic lifting coaches, sport-specific trainers. The generalists got left behind. The same thing is happening in yoga for athletes. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you don't establish yourself as a specialist in your market soon, someone else will. Once they do, you will be competing from a disadvantaged position. The teachers I trained 3 years ago are now the established specialists in their markets. They're getting referrals from coaches, requests from teams, and premium rates from private clients. Teachers just starting now are finding it harder to break in. I've watched this play out in market after market. Teachers who positioned themselves as athlete specialists years ago are now fully booked. They're the first call when a coach needs someone. They're building group programs and private clientele. They have established themselves. Teachers trying to break in now face an uphill battle. They're competing against established relationships, proven track records, and word-of-mouth referrals. It is not impossible. I'm not trying to dissuade you from entering this field. I want you in it, but it is much harder. So the time to establish yourself is now, while there's still opportunity in most markets. So what do you need to do? 3 immediate actions. First, get educated on working with athletes specifically. General yoga training isn't enough anymore. You need to understand athletic training principles, sport-specific needs, and how to position yourself professionally. Second, establish yourself in your market before someone else does. Choose your specialization, whether it's runners or CrossFit athletes or golfers or a specific team or facility. Then become known as the teacher for that population. Third, position yourself professionally from day one. Use language that resonates with coaches and athletes. Set professional rates. Create systems and boundaries. Don't try to compete on price. Compete on expertise. The window is still open, but it is closing. The teachers who act now will establish sustainable, profitable practices. Those who wait might find themselves competing for whatever's left. If you want the complete system for establishing yourself as an athlete specialist in 2026 and beyond, including how to get educated quickly, position yourself effectively, and land your first clients, I've created a free workshop called How to Double Your Income Teaching Yoga to Athletes. In it, I share everything you need to establish yourself before this window closes. The link is in the description below. Don't wait on this. Remember, the Yoga for Athletes field has transformed. Programs are professionalizing, athletes have higher expectations, and markets are consolidating around specialists. This creates incredible opportunity for teachers who position themselves correctly, and it leaves behind those who don't. The time to act is now. Establish your expertise, claim your specialization, and position yourself professionally. Your future teaching career depends on it. If this opened your eyes to what's happening, please like this video and subscribe for more insights on the future of yoga teaching. Drop a comment. Are you seeing these shifts in your market? What have you noticed changing? Let's discuss.